So let's touch on what are you using for the financial planning side of things.
So we've gone around in circles trying to find great financial planning software. And I think the one that really resonated with us was AssetMap. And it's about a year and a half ago, a local team called Work That Matters brought AssetMap. So AssetMap is a US-based software, and they acquired the license to help local financial planners use AssetMap. And when you look at AssetMap, you think, oh, this doesn't have this function, it doesn't have that function, it doesn't have that function. And one thing that Johan from Conspace taught me is that not having a function is a function, right? So the fact that you are limited in what you can do brings about an amount of focus to focus on the important things. So what AssetMap does, it does exactly the same as your HP 10B and a piece of paper. So it allows you to put in your financial information of where you are into a visual mind map, and clients love that, right? So we're creating a map with the client. It's not I'm planning and here's your plan, Francois. It's an experience, right? So think about the Build-A-Bears. You can buy a teddy bear for, I don't know, 50 Rand at Pick n Pay, or you can go to Build-A-Bear and you can build your own bear and you can get the stuffing and you can get the heart, and that experience people are willing to pay a premium for. It's scary at the beginning, so showing a client what software you use and them asking questions that you might not be able to answer. But just like anything, if a client asks you a question and you don't know, just say, hey, I don't know, I'll find out and I'll come back to you. And if it's really not that important, maybe just kind of explain to them that you'll touch on it a little bit later. So when we started using AssetMap, it really had to get us back to the core of financial planning, saying if we had no financial products, how would clients still be willing to pay for this experience? So the experience of organizing your finances, the experience of bringing clarity around what you have and why you have it. And most people have never seen their finances on one paper, right? One piece of paper just saying, here's your life, here's your financial life. So just the reflection process of a client seeing what they've accumulated is already really powerful. Most of the clients coming in has got a concern, and that concern is, am I going to be okay? Right? So I think that's the number one question. So this AssetMap is allowed, and you can really use a piece of paper and you can use whatever you want. It's just forced us into this process of reflecting on where the client is at, and then allowing to slot goals into that, right? So they call it target maps. So creating a financial rand or dollar or euro amount that you're aiming towards and showing the client how much on track are they. So are they 100% on track? Are they 50%? Are they 110% on track? And then you can start having a discussion around how important those goals are. Kind of how are they going to be funded? And you start looking at, we call these things levers, right? So all these different levers that you can pull and push to make sure that they get to their financial goal. One of them is returns, and one other one is fees and timelines. And so the dilemma with most of the planning software is like, well, if I want to change the retirement date by 1 year, I have to go back and do a lot of work. And sorry, Mr. Client, we'll see you at the next meeting. Where this has just allowed us to create that financial planning experience. And so far, I mean, we've loved it and clients have loved it.
Yeah, I interviewed Kirsty from Work That Matters and on episode 10 of Propulsion, where we intensely spoke about AssetMap. And I'll put it on the screen. If you want to go listen to that podcast, you want to learn more about AssetMap, you can go do it there. And I see this podcast has even made it to the States. They posted on LinkedIn the other day that AssetMap have shared this themselves. So really making the rounds. But if you want to learn more about what it's about and what it can do and how you can contact them, you can do it there. And do let them know that you're coming from this show and from us, so that they can know that we talk about them when we do. It wasn't planned to talk about them. It's just like sometimes these things come up and you know. So